सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। लास्ट मंत्र। न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता। In the beginning of this Upanishad, the mind, Vishaya Saktam Manaha, the mind which is attached to the object, was presented as the cause for bondage, and the mind which is Nirvishayam, free from these objects of desire, was presented as the means for moksha. But merely becoming free from desire for some time or in some state itself is not enough for moksha. And therefore, we saw this in more fundamental manner. So when it is says Vishaya Saktam Manaha Bandhaya, Vishaya Saktam is attached to the object. And attached to the object means having this Shobhana Dhyasaha, the idea of this, the superimposition of the happiness on the object. And that superimposition of happiness on the object is because of two mistakes. One is seeing the objects to be independently existing and seeing myself to be limited. So, this Vishaya Saktam Manaha conveys the idea of superimposition of happiness, also conveys the idea of this twofold mistake, and behind this twofold mistake, what is there is Ajnanam. So, Savishaya Vishaya Saktam Manaha finally boils down to what? Ajnana Yuktam Manaha. The mind which is endowed with the ignorance about the truth of this world, truth about oneself, that mind is the cause for bondage. And therefore, the final message is the same. Ajnanam and Ajnana Janya Adhyasa are responsible for bondage. And when it is said Nirvishayam, free from the objects, the mind which is free from the object is the means for freedom. There also, merely becoming free from the object is not enough, because that happens in deep sleep state also. And between these two thoughts also mind is free from the objects. But Nirvishaya means free from the objects of desire and free from the Shobhanadhyasa, free from the superimposition of independent existence to the object, free from the conclusion that I am limited, and thereby free from ignorance. So, Nirvishayam Manaha, the mind which is free from the objects finally means the mind which is free from ignorance about oneself, about the world. So, jnana yuktam manah is mokshaya proktam. So, final solution is in knowledge. Fundamental bondage is because of ignorance, or the fundamental cause of the bondage is ignorance. And therefore, in Bhagavatam, that there is one Gita. Generally, Gita means only Bhagavad Gita we understand, but there are so many Gitas. In fact, Gita Press has brought out one book of Gitas. So many Gitas are there. Sannyas Gita, Ram Gita. I think Gita Press or some author or some compiler has brought out. So one Gita is called Hamsa Gita, which is occurring in Bhagavata, Ekadasha Skanda, and I think 13th chapter. So there a dialogue is there. When Sanat Kumara, Sanat, Sanak, Sanandana, Sanatana, these four, they are called Kumaras. Means it is not that they are recently born or something. Generally, Kumara word is used for young boys. They have been there for millions of years, but still they have been blessed to remain Kumara. And once they asked question to their father is Brahmaji, that Guneshu avishate chittam, the mind is going to the objects, guna means objects. Because of raga, the mind goes to the objects. And when Vishaya Anubhava, the experience of Shabda Sparsha is there, then the objects remain in the mind in the form of vasanas. So objects enter into the mind. Mind enters into the objects, objects enter into the mind. Then how to separate them? How to disconnect them? Because both of them are entering into each other in a way. Then they asked this question to their father Brahmaji. And in Bhagavata it is written that Brahmaji was so busy with some job that he could not understand the spirit of the question. When you don't understand the question, how can you answer? And so he did not bluff. Like modern fathers, if they don't answer, some bluff they will give. But he did not. No. He said, Brahmaji remembered Vishnu, Bhagavan. So when such difficulties are there, Bhagavan eva sharanam. So he remembered Bhagavan. And then Bhagavan appeared in the form of Hamsa, swan. And then a dialogue starts. And in that dialogue, Bhagavan gives the answer. He says, when such duality is there which is mutually dependent upon each other, the chitta mind is there, therefore objects keep manifesting. Objects keep manifesting, therefore the mind with restlessness, desire continues to be there. When there is such a mutually dependent situation is there, A depends upon B, B depends upon A, in that situation the truth must be something else. And one has to go beyond both of them. Then one can be free from the problems created by both of them. You will not get the solution only by working on only one thing. And therefore, what is the solution? He said, you discover yourself to be free from the objects, the sambandha with the objects, connection with the objects, and also connection with the mind. I am someone who is not associated with the objects. I am someone who is not associated with the thoughts of the object. Who am I? I am Sat Chid Ananda, Brahma Rupa. In fact, Bhagavan uses the word Madrupaha Ubhayam Tyajet. So, having discovered identity with me, Brahma, ubhayam tyajet. You go beyond both. So you are not afraid or overpowered by the objects, you are not overpowered by the thoughts. When you abide in your true nature, which is Brahma, you are free from both. So the final solution of the problem of the mind is in abidance in Atma. And that idea is very beautifully brought out in Hamsa Gita. He says, Madrupa ubhayam tyajet. Madrupa means Brahma Rupa San Jivaha ubhayam tyajet. And that is why, after talking about the mind as the cause for the problem and the mind as the means for freedom, Upanishad entered into this topic of Brahma Jnanam or Brahmatma Jnanam. And that is what we are seeing from 8 to 15. So 1 to 6 is presentation of this freedom and bondage in terms of the conditions of the mind. 7th was for prescribing this Omkara Dhyanam as the sadhana. And from 8 to 15 is the description of that Brahman, abiding in which one becomes free. And while talking about that, it was said that Paramarthata, the absolute truth is, there is no real creation, there is no real dissolution, etc. And this was introduced as an answer to a possible doubt. What was the doubt? That we are seeing different types of things, different types of people. Somebody is a samsari, pakka samsari, somebody is a sadhaka, somebody is mukta. Then how can there be one Atma? This is a very common question. This is what I was told when I was telling Paramatma is everywhere. This is what that organization told me. If Atma is one, then all should be good only. Then nobody should harm each other. How you are seeing all this? If one Atma is there behind all, then everything should be uniform. All are bound, all are free. That is not happening. To that possible doubt, answer is given that all this bondage, freedom, creation, dissolution, all of them are really not there. They appear to be there, but really not there. Like what? In dream. All happenings in dream, if we see from the standpoint of the waker, then they are really not there. Similarly, you wake up further. Now you are supposed to be a waker, but you need to be a further waker, waker number 2. And then when you become this real waker, means Turi Atma, who is all the time awake, Alupta Drik it is called. Means he never loses his consciousness, awareness. That's why Alupta Drik, when you appreciate yourself to be. From that angle, the creation is not there, the dissolution also not there. Na nirodha na cha utpattihi. The creation is not there, dissolution are not there. Because creation and dissolution of what? Dvaitam is not there. Since Dvaitam is not there, it cannot have creation and dissolution. Advaitam also cannot have creation and dissolution, because Advaitam is Sat Swarupa, of the nature of existence, which never comes into being. It is of the nature of being. Therefore, na nirodha na ucha utpattihi. Na baddha. Nobody is really bound. People think themselves to be bound, really not bound. And therefore, there is no real sadhaka anybody, because this sadhana also is in the realm of this avidya. I consider myself to be bound and therefore I do lot of sadhana. And I say sincere sadhaka. But from the standpoint of reality, there is no sadhaka. Why? Because there is nothing to be achieved. If something to be achieved, then you have to do sadhana. For you to become a human being, just in a, not in a figurative sense, To be a human being, what you have to do? Nothing. To get one head over your shoulders, what you have to do? What sadhana you have to do? Nothing. To get something in the head, perhaps some sadhana is required. But for head, you don't require sadhana. Similarly, so here this moksha is already your swarupa. Therefore, really there is no sadhana required. Even though somebody appears to be doing, that is because of this conclusion based on avidya. And similarly, nobody is really mumukshu because everybody is mukta. Means there is no real bondage to be, from which one has to be free. And one is really never bound, therefore nobody is really free also. You were never bound to become free. To be free, you have to be bound. So you are never bound, and therefore you are never free. Iti esha, this set of facts is paramarthata. Iti esha, this set of facts is absolute truth. When we hear this, so many questions may come. Because this is a little like a bombshell, So we are like planning our sadhana, giving up job and joining the course and all this. I'm planning so many things. And you are telling no sadhana, no bandha, no moksha. So question would be, Swamiji, is any sadhana required for me or not? If there is no bondage, if there is no freedom, is sadhana required for me? My answer will depend upon the platform on which you are standing. From which platform you are asking the question, based on the platform, I will see your platform, and based on that I will answer. Because one principle of answering question is, don't answer the question, answer the questioner. No. You have to answer the questioner, not question really. Means what? You have to understand the spirit of the question. You understand the mind frame behind the question, and then answer. So here, when a person is concluding himself to be bound, and strongly he is thinking, I am bound. Swamiji, I am suffering from samsara so much. People may have some samsara, I have got full samsara. At least in that I am the best. So I have full samsara, Swamiji. All types of whatever problem you tell, Swamiji, I have. Health problem, financial problem, social problem, communication problem, all problem I have. So should I do any sadhana, Swamiji, or not? So my answer will be what? Yes. When a person has a very strong conclusion, with strong identification with the body, mind, sense complex, even if I say that you do not require any sadhana, you know what he will do? He will do namaskara to me and go to another guru. It is exactly like a doctor, You go to the doctor, and some good doctors will say, you really don't require any medicine. This viral fever and all this is cold, etc. If you take medicine, it will go in 7 days. Otherwise, it will go in 1 week. So no. And therefore, they will say, just go through. Don't take medicine. So many people will not like this. They will go to what? Another doctor. So even though what doctor is saying it right only, really medicine is not required. For some viral and all, there is no real medicine. So he is telling, just go through, our body will develop the immunity. But we will not like it. Similarly, if Vedanta teacher to such a person, he says, no, you don't require any sadhana. You are always free. Where is bondage? Show me. Where is bondage? Where is bondage? Is it there? Here bondage, here bondage, here bondage. Where is bondage? So, when such, this is a real answer, but sometimes we are not ready to face reality. Truth is too overwhelming for some people, and therefore what? Yes, yes, sadhana is required. Sincerely, sadhana should be done. Then what is to be done? We tell based on his or her level. He has lot of restlessness issues, then we talk about some upasana. He has got so many ragadveshas. We talk about karma yoga. Relatively free from these two, then we talk about attending classes. Attending classes can be a common. It's like a tonic, So they give for everything. So vitamin tablet they give for everything. Multivitamin. So you prescribe some classes. But the real solution is what? The ultimate solution is, I do not have a problem to solve. Ultimately, this problem of samsara is not solved, it is resolved. And what is the meaning of this samsara problem resolved? The resolution of samsara problem is the discovery that there is no samsara problem. But to reach that, you have to do lot of sadhana. To discover this fact that I don't require sadhana, you have to do lot of sadhana. That is irony. So finally what you have to discover? I don't require any sadhana. For that you do lot of sadhana. Because to digest this fact, you require certain maturity, certain purity, and therefore to that person I may say you require sadhana. But if somebody says, Swamiji, really speaking, there is no bondage. There is real bondage. My mind is gravitated to that fact. I am seeing this more and more, that really there is no problem. To that student, what will I say? Yes, my dear student, you are right. I will say that. Good, I am happy you discovered this. Really, no sadhana is required. And keep seeing this fact, I am ever free. I am ever free. Since you are capable of seeing this. And therefore, depending upon the level of sadhaka, this answer will be given. There is no standard one formula for all, one size for all. There is no such thing. Different answer we have to. That depending upon this level of the shishya, buddhi, shakti, anurupataha. So depending upon the capacity of the student, answer is given. One more question related to this, na nirodho na chotpattihi, but Bhashyakara discusses there and useful. Swamiji's bondage is not there, freedom is not there. Then what for Shastra? We thought Shastra is meant for prescribing the means for freedom. Mukti sadhana upadeshakam shastram. Shastra is the revealer of the means for moksha. That is what we thought. And now you said there is no bondage, there is no freedom. Then what for Shastra? For that Bhashyakara gives the answer. He quotes the Dravidacharya Sutra, Siddham tu Nivartakatvat. Siddham means established. We have to supply Pramanyam. Shastrasya Pramanyam Siddham. The authenticity, validity of Vedanta is established. How? Nivartakatvat. Adhyastha Nivartakatvat. Shastra is Pramanam, valid, because Shastra is negating what is superimposed. So, Shastra becomes valid not by prescribing some new thing. Shastra is valid by dismissing, negating what is really not there but thought to be there. Therefore, Shastra is useful. Useful for what? Removing my misconception. Not to give some information about new Atma. Atma is all the time evident. Self is self-evident. But regarding the self-evident self, there are many misconceptions, and those misconceptions are removed, and thereby Shastra becomes Pramanam. So, this is a very important mantra. In Karika, when I am teaching, I will say important shloka. Here we say important mantra. Now, in the next shloka, next mantra, a possible question is answered. That there are different states of experience: waking, dream, sleep. And since states of experience are different, therefore the experiencers also different. Waker, dreamer, sleeper are different. And waker also is a conscious being, dreamer also is a conscious being, sleeper also is a conscious being. So we have three conscious beings, means three Atmas are there. That type of possible question is answered in the next mantra. Eka evatma mantavyah jagrat swapna sushuptishu स्थानत्रय व्यतीतस्य पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushuptisu, Shu. In the waking, dream and deep sleep state, Ekaha eva Atma mantavyaha. In all three different states, Ekaha eva, only one's Atma, self, mantavyaha, should be accepted. In all three different states, Atma is one. Self is one alone. Why? Generally we give this reason called pratyabhigna. Pratyabhigna means recognition. Recognition means you have this experience. I slept, I dreamt, and now I am awake. So the one who slept and one who dreamt is the same who is available now as the waker. This type of experience, cognition, is called recognition. Means we are seeing the identity, the oneness between the experiencer earlier and experiencer now. So here we have this, with regard to these three states, we have this pratyabhigna, this recognition that I was the sleeper, I was the dreamer, and now I am the waker. And therefore there is only one Atma in all three states of experience. You cannot say somebody slept and now somebody is awake. There is no such thing. Otherwise, if you are asked what is your age, then you can remove 1/3 of this. Why? Because 1/3 you slept, or in fact 1/2 perhaps. Some people 1/2. So even though you are 75, you can say my net waking hours, my net waking age is 40. So many people who they are struggling to enter into the course even though they are over age, they will have this good thing, my net waking age. I am giving them ideas. All right. That doesn't happen. So, you know that I was the waker, I am the waker, I am the sleeper, I was the sleeper, I was the dreamer. And therefore what? One Atma, one and the same Atma is available in Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti. Otherwise there will not be connection. You will not be able to recollect your dream. Somebody might have dreamt, I don't know. Is there a dream thing? You will even not accept there is a dream. How will you know that if you are not the dreamer, how will you say I had a dream? We cannot even wish you sweet dream, because whom I wishing is not going to have dream. Problem, sweet dream they wish you. That will not happen. Therefore, ekah eva atma mantavyaha jagrat swapna shushuptishu. In a way it is good also. Imagine in one body 3 atmas are sitting. Some people have that. In one body so many atmas come. Their stories are there. Then one by one we have to drive them out. Really they do something. I have heard some stories like that. In one body so many atmas. Eka eva atma mantavyaha. And sthanatraya vyatitaha. That atma which is in and through all 3 states is different from the 3 states. Vyatita means beyond. So the atma which is beyond 3 states of experience. How do we say atma is beyond 3 states of experience? Because there is a what is called reasoning, logic. Vyavrutteshu anuvruttaha vyavruttebhyaha vidyate. I am just telling in Sanskrit, but I am going to explain in English. Yatha pushpeshu sutram. See, there is a garland. In that garland, flowers are different. They are different variables. They are called vyavrutta. Whereas the thread is what? Invariable. Thread is common. Common thread we call it. So thread is anuvrutta, invariable. So thread is invariable, flowers are variables. And we see this, we observe this, that invariable is different from variables. Invariable thread is different from variable flowers. Here also, the states of experience, they are what? Variables. And Atma is what? Invariable. And invariable should be different from variables. And therefore, Atma is sthanatraya vyatitaha. I, Atma, am different from 3 states of experience. I am in and through all 3 states of experience, but I am different from, asanga from all 3 states of experience. So Atma is not some running away from 3 states. Atma is present, but still not affected, different from them. Sthanatraya vyatitaha. Like what? Like the thread. And from that one more corollary we derive, that which is variable is mithya, invariable is satyam. Anuvrutti, vyavrutti, nyaya it is called. That which continues to be is satyam. That which comes and goes is mithya. So avastha, every avastha comes and goes. Now which avastha is that? Jagrat avastha. Your answer means Jagrat avastha. So means you were not. Okay. Now you are Jagrat, fully Jagrat. Okay. So now Jagrat avastha is there. I hope most of you. Some people still Sushupti also there. So Jagrat avastha. And earlier what was there? Before you woke up, it was Sushupti or Swapna. And that Sushupti, the deep sleep state, came and went away. For some people it doesn't come so easily. So, but it comes. People, they say, Swamiji, whole night I was awake. It is not true most of the time. You woke up few times and therefore you say, Swamiji, whole night I was awake. You don't present your problem in exaggerated manner. You simply say, I woke up few more times. But I have seen this is a habit. Whole night, whole night. That is why you are adding to your own problems. Learn to present facts as facts. Anyway, that's by the way, so but it's useful to know. So, sleep came, went away. Dream came, went away. This waking also has come, will go away. I hope it doesn't go away before 12:30. So, and therefore, that which is subject to coming and going is mithya, unreal, really not there. Gaudapadacharya ji in Mandukya he says, Adavante cha yannasti vartamanepi tattatha. That which is not there earlier and will not be later, even though it appears to be there, really not there. That's a very, very nice thing to know. If somebody loves, you think he loves you. And if you have fear, Swamiji, he may stop loving me. If he stops loving, really did not have love. If real love is there, it will not go. If it goes, it was not real love. It was conditional. You were looking beautiful, you were very wealthy, you were doing good work, and therefore he loved you. Like he loves his car. Similarly, he loves his wife also, or husband also. So, if you have this feeling that, oh, he has real love for me, but if something happens, it may go. If it goes, it was not there. That's why somebody said, those who are yours, they will be yours. They will not leave you. And if they leave you, anyway they were not yours. Therefore, why to be afraid? Why to have so much tension? I have to hold on them. Swami, I have to catch hold of my spouse, otherwise they will go away, slip away. Anyway, so anything which is subject to coming and going is really not there. Mithya. Mithya definition is what? Asat bhasamanam. That which is really not there appears to be there. Asat bhasamanam cha mithya swapna gajadivat. So, all these avasthas are mithya. Whereas Atma, what type of Atma? Which is consciousness. Atma, which is consciousness, is there in waking state. Now consciousness is there or not? There. Consciousness is there, therefore you are able to understand, you are able to nod your head. When I ask question, you are able to answer, right or wrong, but answer. Therefore consciousness is there. Consciousness doesn't mean it should give right answer only. So you should not say, Swamiji, my consciousness was not there, therefore I gave wrong answer. Then your meaning of consciousness is different. So consciousness is there when you are confused in waking state. Consciousness is there or not? There. To be confused also you need to be consciousness. When you are enlightened by Saturday, what is called 10 o'clock, because Saturday 10 o'clock is last day, that is the last day of getting enlightened. So that time also you are there. Okay. In dream, consciousness was there or not? Was there? In fact, dream is considered to be a good example for this Swayam Jyoti. So there was no external light. Therefore, the dreamer is called Tejasaha. So your light of consciousness was very much there. And of course, what the thought also, not only consciousness, the thoughts also. But thoughts illumined by the consciousness. And in deep sleep, that is a big question. In deep sleep state, whether consciousness is there or not. Many even Buddhas, the Buddhists, Buddhist and Buddhist, Buddha and Buddhist. So Buddha, this Buddhist, they say in deep sleep state consciousness is not there. He said no. After deep sleep state, when you wake up, you say that Sukhena maya nidra anubhuyate sma, or Sukham aham aswapsam, I slept happily, like a log. They use the example. I slept well, happily. I was so happy. All the kachapacha was not there. People say that also. All kachapacha was not there. Slept happily. So you are recollecting your experience of sleep. Recollection is possible when collection was there. Yaya smritihi sasa anubhava purvika. Whatever remembrance is there is always preceded by experience. You cannot remember something which you have not experienced. You cannot. If you have not seen some place, some of you might not have seen this Murugan temple, you cannot recollect. So anything which is experience alone can be remembered. Sushupti, deep sleep state experience is remembered by you after waking up. Therefore, there must be the experience of this deep sleep state in the form of experience of ajnanam or experience of nothing being there. I don't know anything, I don't know anything. So, there was experience of ignorance or experience of nothing being there. And for any experience, consciousness is required. Every experience is nothing but consciousness with a thought. Some thought. In Sushupti, there is no Antakarana thought. They have got another name, Avidya Vritti, but some Anatma aspect has to be there. But consciousness is the basis for all experiences. And therefore, in every state, consciousness is invariable. Consciousness is I am consciousness. I, consciousness, am invariable in all three states of experience. And that which is invariable, continuous, anuvrittam, that is Satyam. So what is Satyam? That which continues to be, never ceases to be, that is Satyam. And I, consciousness, am Satyam. Why? I am continuous, invariable. And one who has understood that I, consciousness, am present in all three states of experience, but I am not limited by any state of experience, that person, for that person, punarjanmana vidyate. The rebirth is not there. For the person who has understood oneself to be sakshi of all three states of experience, for that person, rebirth na vidyate does not exist. Why? Rebirth is there because of one main reason, other secondary reason. One reason is punya papa. And other reason is our vasanas, our unfulfilled desires. So since you have unfulfilled desires and you have got punya papa currency, therefore you keep on go to the mall of this world. How long will you go to the market? Today purchase. Not like marriage time, the people have purchases for 5-6 days. Today purchase, few items brought. Tomorrow also you go. Why? Still list is not complete. Next day also go. Why? List is not complete. When this to be purchased list is complete, then only you said now today not required. Or money ran out of money, then also you did not go. So what is the use of going when you don't have money? So karma money is there and the desire is there, then rebirth continues. For ajnanam is there in the background. Without ajnanam, this punya papa cannot be there. Without ajnanam, these desires will not be there. Therefore, they are of course there, but we are talking about the immediate factors. So, for a person who has got punya papa and so many desires to be fulfilled, there will be rebirth, rebirth, rebirth. Like in your phone, you know, nowadays this is a very good example for us, that the world around you will be according to your samskaras. See, when you are watching some program in YouTube or Google, some particular news, you know what type of news they will give? Which we have watched. When I did not understand first, and I said, how come this type, this fellow, this news alone is coming? Then I understood, oh, they register. अच्छा आपको ये पसंद आ गया, next time वही बनाएंगे. So, so I was reading about a Yoginath. So Yoginath, after all a sudden, then they have one good thing is they give one particular option. And there is, I am not interested in this Yoginath. You have to say, then it will not come. I really love that. So the whole world is like this. As long as you have some vasana for something, somehow it keeps coming around you. When you say, I am not interested in this, not interested in this, very likely it will go away. Somehow or the other, some way, some samskara might be there, therefore it will keep coming. Or that is one thing, you have desire for some news or some program, therefore it keeps coming. But along with that, you should have Wi-Fi also. So Wi-Fi currency, every time they charge, so they count the MBs and all. So Wi-Fi currency and your vasanas. Because of that, you keep on getting rebirth, 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 rebirth. So when punya papa currency is gone, then the samskaras are not there. This unfulfilled desire, suppressed desire, not there, then rebirth is not there. And this person who has discovered himself to be sthana traya vyatita means I am not vishwaha, means I am not a pramata, I am not a karta, I am not a bhokta, means I am not a karta, pramata, I am not the swapna, bhokta, jagrat padartha bhokta. That is what is the meaning of sthana traya vyatita. So one who has discovered himself to be the sakshi, the witness of all three states, and sakshi means apramata, akarta, abhokta. I am not even the knower, I am not even the doer or experiencer of anything. I am only sakshi of the mind, which is undergoing three different states: fully active, jagrat; partially active, swapna; passive, sushupti. I am the sakshi of that. I am not a karta. So punya papa is not there. And I have no sambandha with any bhoga. And I, sakshi, am Brahman paripurnaha. I don't require any bhoga. And for such a person, punarjanmana vidyate. Why? The basis for punarjanma is gone. Basis for punarjanma, punya papa and these samskaras, desires. And of course, the kartrutva, bhoktrutvam also gone. And therefore, punarjanma is not there. And now, how one Atma can appear as many, that is explained in the next slok, next mantra. Eka eva hi bhutatma bhute bhute vyavasthitah ekadha bahudha chaiva drishyate jalachandravat. So in the first half of the mantra, the fact is stated. What is the fact? Eka eva hi bhutatma. Bhutatma means the self of all beings, all living beings, is eka eva, is one alone, he indeed. Bhute bhute means in every living being, vyavasthitaha, present. One Atma alone is present in all living beings. See, there is extension of what was said in the earlier. In earlier mantra, what was said? In all three states, one Atma. All the three states happening in this body, mind, sense complex, in all three of them, Atma is one. At least at individual level, oneness of Atma, invariability of Atma was understood. Yes, I am one Atma. Even though states are variable, I am invariable. Now we are extending this. Generally we feel what? Yes, I am one Atma in all three states, but I am one Atma, he is one Atma, she is one Atma, she is one Atma, she is one Atma. My Atma is different, your Atma is different. Don't mix up our Atma. Shruti says no. Ekaheva Atma. In every one, every living being, there is only one Atma. Difficult to accept that how can you Swamiji one Atma only? You are Mahatma, whereas we are Chotatma. Chota they tell in Tamil also, no? Chota. They tell Chinna. Chinnatma. Okay. Chinnatma, nice name. Yeah. Chikkadu is that Chikka? Okay. Telugu. Okay. So, Chotatma, Alpatma. So, we think that Atmas are different. Shruti says no. Atma is one. Only the container for Atma, called Upadhi, the medium of manifestation is different. Therefore, Atma appears to be different. One example we give is of Akasha. Akasha is one only, but parts are many. Therefore, Akasha appears to be many and varied. We say here small space, small pot space, here big pot space, here big room space. Really speaking, space is one. Even Nayayikas, the logicians who talk about many Atma, they also say space is one. Even common man will understand space is one only. But he forgets this. And he will say, I have got very small space, you have got big space. But really speaking, space is one even though parts are many. Similarly, our bodies are like pots only. So, these body parts are many, but Akasha like Atma is one. So, at least when we get the example, example does not establish the truth. Example gives the sense of possibility. Or example removes the sense of impossibility. How can it be so? How can it be so? When you give example, it is possible. So, parts are many, therefore space appears to be many, but really it is one. Similarly, bodies which are the media of manifestation, they are many, therefore Atma appears to be many. From that what we understand, even though reality is one, it can appear many. That much only we want to explain. Reality is one, can appear many because of the manyness of media of manifestation. And media of manifestation is called Upadhi in Sanskrit. In English there is a word adjunct and all this we use. Adjunct is as foreign as Upadhi. Adjunct generally don't you use. So you don't use. But since you want translation, I have to give Upadhi. The one translation is adjunct. What is adjunct? I will say upadhi. That's it is your upadhi. So adjunct means medium of manifestation. Sometimes they use the word conditioning factor. That is called upadhi. Technically they gave the explanation, upa samipe sthitva swagunan adhatte iti upadhi. Remaining near, it transfers its quality to the adjacent thing. That is called upadhi. And we have a standard example, crystal, red flower. Red flower transfers its quality as it were to the crystal. Therefore, red flower will be called what? Upadhi. And this crystal will be called upahita. All right. So Atma is one, but upadhi are many, therefore appears to be many. That is one example of akasha. Here prakasha example is given. Generally for Atma, even though really complete example is not possible, we have already told drashtanta varjitam. By chance we have forgotten, good. So now we are giving example. What is the example? Prakasha. The beautiful thing is akasha and prakasha both are derived from the same root. A and pra, only upasarga, the prefix are different. Kash, root is the same. Both are given as example. And here example is the prakasha in the form of prakasha body. The one body of light, not a real body of light, but considered to be body of light, luminary, is moon. So one moon alone is there in the sky. And for practical purpose, we consider it to be luminaries. Really it is not, but luminaries. He is considered in the Jyotish Shastra it comes. Jyotish means luminary. So it is luminary. So that light, luminary, moon is one. Nabho, nabhasthap chandraha ekaha. This moon in the sky is only one. But there are so many buckets, and therefore we see so many reflections. And the child who doesn't know the difference between the original moon and the reflected moon, he will say what? Oh, many moons. And in Gujarati and all, I don't know, in South India, moon is considered to be mother's brother, Chanda Mama. So, is there in South India? That idea is not there, no? Okay. So we Mama banate kahi ko. So, so there are so many Chanda Mamas are there. One magazine was there, no? Chanda Mama. So many Chanda Mamas are there. Why many? How is it possible? Because media are many. But in the eyes of mother, who is a enlightened lady, with reference to moon, she will understand there is only one moon. That's what is said here. Ekada bahuda cha eva drishyate. Jalachandravat. Jalachandra means a moon reflected in water. Jale pratibhimbita chandravat. Like the moon which is appearing in water, ekada drishyate. It is understood to be one. It is seen to be one. Ekada means as one. Drishyate, cognized. Bahudha cha eva, and as many also. Depending upon which moon you are seeing. Are you seeing the original moon in the sky? Then ekada. If you are seeing the reflected moon in many buckets, then bahuda. If you are seeing the moon with the upadhis, then many. If you are seeing the moon without upadhi, then one. Similarly, Atma is one alone, understood to be one by a wise person. But those who are seeing Atma with the media of manifestation, they will consider Atma to be many. So, manyness of Atma is not intrinsic to Atma, manyness is superimposed upon Atma based on the manyness of the Upadhi. Atma by itself is one, but appears to be many because of the manyness of media of manifestation. Therefore, your experience is understandable. You are feeling that many Atma is understandable because upadhis are many. But the reality is there is only one Atma. More we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.